Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I finally finished my Doctor Who marathon, which took about 2 months. I've kind of enjoyed living with the series for a little while, but it was only supposed to take a couple of weeks. So finally got to Jodie Whittaker's era, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of disappointed in everyone that they really gave her such a hard time. I mean, the show had started to decline in Capaldi's era. The ratings dropped by a lot. So the decline was well on its way when Jodie came in. A lot of people like to blame her, the female doctor, it got all woke, and it's all just hater BS. And I'm disappointed that I didn't question that enough. I got sucked into that a bit, but I didn't really care. I thought I'll wait till I watch it. But I sort of just assumed people, I guess, were giving their honest opinions, and a lot of people really were just trashing it for political reasons and for sexism. Now, Jodie Whittaker herself, I did watch on ABC Flux and the Legend of the Sea Devils. Those, and I think, no, that's it. I think that's all I watched. So I had seen her as a doctor, and she was okay. She was a little annoying, but all the doctors are. And having sat through all of them now, I can see how she was, just playing the doctor. And aside from the odd weird face that she would pull, I found her enjoyable. I found the tone of the show enjoyable. I found the characters enjoyable. I found her fam enjoyable. I wanted to spend time with them. I wanted to go on adventures with them. And I have there's no real idea or reason why people had such a problem with this era of the show. I enjoyed it more than Matt Smith and Capaldi. Matt Smith was too complicated. Capaldi was just as complicated, and I didn't like Capaldi as a doctor. Even though I know he pulled on some of the older doctors and some of the more serious darker tones, and that worked on one level, but he didn't have the energy I needed. I didn't want to go on adventures with him. I didn't miss him. I didn't want it to last longer. I just wanted to get through it and get to the next era, is how I sort of felt with that. Whereas Jodie's era, I really enjoyed the episodes. I enjoyed the tone. I enjoyed the diversity. I mean, all these people complaining, it's like, yes, they had a female doctor, but they also had an older male companion and a young black male companion and a young, was she Indian? I can't remember. Did they even define? Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think so. I hope I'm not getting my companions confused, but they had diversity there, and it wasn't just all white people. It wasn't just the regular sort of heteronormative dynamic, and I think that made the family more interesting, and they didn't really play on it too much. And my God, I really looked forward to the Rosa Parks episode, and I really enjoyed it. And the only thing I can acknowledge is I can see how some people got the wrong impression of the show, because the social justice episodes they did, and there are 3 or 4 of them, they did sort of air all sort of around the same time, sort of in order. So I could get, if you were watching that show at that time, you might have concluded that was what the show was about, and maybe switched off if you felt that was not what you wanted to watch. But those shows, they didn't do a lot of them, and aside from the fact that they tended to show them sort of in the early part of the first season, it kind of defined that sort of era of Jodie Whittaker. I think a lot of people tuned in to see a female doctor and to see if it was better than Capaldi's era, which sort of turned a lot of people off. And I think a lot of people found the show was the same and sort of tuned back out. And a lot of people who were sexist and bigots basically tuned out as well. So the show was already in decline, and it probably didn't help that it triggered some of the more deplorable members of the Doctor Who fandom. But yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and I'm just really disappointed that I didn't watch it when it was on. But part of that was because I wanted to watch all the other Doctors and sort of watch the whole sort of modern era in order. I didn't sort of jump in and just watch one season sort of randomly. But also because I just sort of had believed a lot of what people were saying, and sort of just assumed it wasn't going to be very good. And I probably enjoyed it more than most of the other Doctors. I think David Tennant's Doctor in that era is still kind of the best, and then maybe tying with Tom Baker. And then I sort of enjoyed Jodie and Shooty. So I just don't know what people are talking about. I'm disappointed in myself that I actually gave these people any credit and thought maybe they had some points when really they're just a bunch of bigots, and they really did need to go and touch some grass. And a lot of people are like, oh, they told the fans not to watch. No, they told the bigots and the racists and the homophobes and the closed-minded people not to watch. And unfortunately, that was a section of the fandom. But we really don't want those people, and I'm fine with a lot of the things that happened now that seemed kind of bad at the time, and now I'm looking at it going, yeah, they gave Jodie a hard time. They really gave the show a hard time. They blamed the show, the decline of the franchise as a whole, on that show, when it's kind of one of those circumstances where the show got better, but it was a bit too late because people had already checked out, and that was Capaldi's fault. That era, not Jodie. It already happened. Kind of like how Shira gets blamed for the decline of He-Man when, it's just a lot of really sad misogyny, and so I really enjoyed it. I should reflect on it a little bit. I like the relationship between Grant and his grandson. Yaz and her were they're a little bit, we're going to go here, do we need to do this? But they didn't really, there was so many things that were just unsaid. They didn't sort of really drag it out and make it tedious or anything, but it was just sort of like, do we need this here? And having Captain Jack back was good. I'm just trying to think what else happened in that season. Of course, the Master, Rasputin. I mean, that was brilliant. The TARDISes, the new TARDIS, they just got worse and worse and worse till we got to Shooty, but Shooty's was too big, but at least it looked right. Something about, I must admit, Jodie had the worst TARDIS. The crystal claw in the middle, what was that? I know they wanted to have it, I know that TARDIS has an organic element to it and a personality to it. It's not just a machine, but they tried too hard to make it organic and weird and alien. And Jodie's just kept getting worse and worse and worse until they just turned around and said, okay, let's just go back to something that resembles an actual spaceship. What else? I'm just trying to think, what did I miss? I'm just looking through the official guide, just trying to remind myself, because I watched so many episodes from so many seasons, it's hard to keep it all in my head. But I'm going to go, I guess. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of her era. I mean, there are a few little standout episodes. I did like Eve of the Daleks with Sarah and Nick. They were cute. Oh, of course. The Mary Shelley episode. What was that? The Haunting of Villa Diodati? Was that one? Is that the name of the episode? Okay. When they were just trying to witness the birth of Frankenstein, and then that Cyberman come in and all that. There are a few episodes that did stand out. Now, Dan. I didn't like Dan. He was weird. He was too old to be young and fun, but too young to be fatherly and sort of comforting as like a... So he just seemed just out of place along with his hair. Style. Oh, of course, the doctor, the fugitive doctor. I kept wanting to say the renegade doctor. The fugitive doctor. She was fun. Everyone seemed to like her, and no one cared that she was black, which was nice. A nice little moment of people not being racist and actually appreciating the character and seeing beyond her race. But she wasn't in it quite enough. But then again, if she'd been overused, it wouldn't have been as much fun either. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I might do like a season review when I've got time to look at each episode again, because I've just marathoned through like 3 or 4 seasons in the last like 2 days. Sounds a bit much. But Jodie Whittiker was good as a doctor. I don't think any of the criticism of the show and of her particularly were justified, and it's just really bad that she had to go through all that, and as much as she enjoyed being, the doctor and being on the show, I'm sure, some of that, registered, and I don't think she deserved any of the criticism, any of the blame for the franchise the issues in general, because all the issues with the show had already sort of played out and were, it was a bit too late to say, but it was a couple of great seasons. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor and her era, and all the pop culture wars nonsense that unfortunately got attached to it.